everyone. This is Pastor Jacob, and we are in week 6 of our Bible study, Better Together. This week, we're dealing with the mysteries of God. In fact, if you read through our text for today, you'll notice that the Apostle Paul makes reference to 3 different mysteries. The first he deals with in verse 3. He calls it a mystery, and he's really dealing with people. So what I would call this is the mystery of unity. Last week, we were dealing with how God had torn down every wall of division through what he had accomplished through Jesus Christ. And the Apostle Paul is continuing to build on this idea, and it's one that we face all the time. In a world where cancel culture is so problem, racial divisions and tensions are constantly going on. We have so many challenges. The political division that goes on, we see it every day. How is it that we as church family can get along? And even more, how can we see revival? I mean, think about this. The Apostle Paul is dealing with Jews and Gentiles. He's dealing with, rabbis and prostitutes. He's dealing with educated and uneducated, wealthy and poor, men and women. How in the world are we going to get along? And even more importantly, how are we going to see a move of God? Well, this is what we call the mystery of unity. And to just give you one verse that maybe shares the heart of what a Christian is to look like, Philippians 2:3 says, "Don't be selfish. Don't try and impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself." See, this is the very core. Even Jesus modeled this when he laid down his life. Because newsflash, Jesus is better than all of us. He's more powerful. He's more authoritative. He comes from royalty. He comes from greater wealth than anybody on the planet. Jesus is better than you in every single way. Yet, he laid down his life to serve you, to save you, to raise you up. And we, as the people of God, need to walk out the very same thing. It's the mystery of unity. Now, the second we see in verse 4, and it's what the Apostle Paul calls the mystery of Christ. This is how this is all possible. Because Jesus came in the flesh. He laid down his life. He tore down divisions. He fulfilled every prophecy. He redeemed us. And the list goes on and on. What's amazing, and I want you to think about what a privilege it is to even be a Christian. The Bible actually talks about how in times past, individuals were looking forward to the day that we're living in. In fact, in Galatians 3, he's quoting a prophecy out of Isaiah 49. He says that the prophets were looking forward to the day, what we know is the day of Jesus Christ. They were longing for the fellowship that we have now through the Holy Spirit. It's incredible. Don't ever take for granted. Even Moses, whoever your hero is in the Old Testament, they were looking forward to the day where Jesus would open the door for us to be able to have a continual fellowship and interaction with the Lord. Used to be, I'd have to go to a temple, I'd have to go through a rabbi, I'd have to sacrifice an animal. But Jesus has made it possible for us to have access. It's the mystery of Christ. Now, I'll just throw this out there. If you'd like to take some time to study on your own, the Apostle Paul actually teaches Timothy in 1 Timothy chapter 3 in verse 16 what the mystery of Christ is. And he gives a whole list. He was manifested in the flesh. He was justified in the Spirit. He was seen by angels. He was preached among Gentiles. He was believed on in the world. He was received into glory. Those are all very significant. As something that you may want to dig into in your own study time. It's the mystery of Christ. Aren't you glad that you know him? The last one is the mystery, what I would call the mystery of the church. In verse 9, he calls it the mystery of fellowship. But in the very next verse, he talks about how God is releasing his wisdom through the church, so that even principalities and powers will know. Now, this is a crazy thought. I want you to hear me on this. If the church is being and operating as we are supposed to be, not only are people going to be blessed, brought into unity, we're going to experience life together, but even principalities and power, those are high-ranking demons, even they will take note of the will of God that is being released into the earth. This is huge. Jesus meant what he said in Matthew 16. He said that I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. One thing that one of my Bible school instructors pointed out was the fact that a gate is not a weapon. He says the gates of hell will not prevail. That means when the church of Jesus Christ is being all that we're supposed to be, hell actually goes on the defense. Principalities and powers will take note. They will see the manifest power of God through the body of Jesus Christ, the church. It's a mystery. This was God's secret weapon, what Jesus was going to release into the earth to accomplish his will. So we have the mystery of unity. That's us together. We have the mystery of Christ, God in the flesh, redeeming mankind. And we have the mystery of the church. It's God's secret weapon. It's what he's using to advance his will in this last day. It's a joy that the mysteries are being revealed to us. God bless you. We'll see you next week.